Thanks, Jean, for being here. Can you tell me what are some of the innovations that you used in this lesson today?
Technology, a lot of the students had never put a PowerPoint presentation together, had never stood in front of, their peers together. So they had to basically learn how to put a PowerPoint together, how to draw their pictures. I gave them a template with what I wanted the slides to have on them, so I gave them a lot of guidance, but we worked hard on it, and they had to write facts down, the audience. If they weren't presenting, they had to sit and ask questions and write facts down about the other people's presentations. And then, of course, when it was their turn, they had to get up and talk in front of their peers. So
Okay.
there's a lot of steps involved in this project.
So a project like this involves many, many different skills, and they used, the microphone and the in-focus and the computer and
The smart board.
learned how to use PowerPoint, how to use a smartboard.
Right,
And you said some students couldn't even turn on a computer on when you first started.
correct.
Wow. Okay. As you reflect on the evidence of the standards and criteria, when I showed you that, what pleases you?
It pleases me that you were able to pull out so many different standards that I didn't even know, or really didn't even think about being in the project, in addition to the ones I already knew about.
Right. So when you developed it, you had it aligned with the standards and criteria. And so anyway, you're excited that there are many more that you're doing along the way.
Yes.
Okay. What other ways could you assess student learning, just with respect to what the students learned today? What other ways could you assess that learning?
Well, let's see, well, one thing you pointed out was the proofreading, that the same students were answering all the time, and what I sometimes do is pick their numbers out of an envelope, and then that forces them to come up, and sometimes they don't want to do it, but they come up and they show me that they know it, and it's not always the same people. So just varying my technique of questioning and of asking students. They never know if I'm going to use that method, or if we're just going to shout it out, or how we're going to do it. So I
So
keep
they need
them
to
on
be
their
ready.
toes, yeah.
That's good. What things, if you did a project, for example, like you did today, if you do something like that, what would you do the same in the future?
I
worked?
liked having the audience participation sheet. They didn't know if I was going to call on them to ask the presenter a question, so they had to be ready with their questions. And it really keeps them involved and active listeners to all the presentations. They're not just concerned about the one they're doing, but they have a big role in each and every one of them. So I really liked that. And I liked asking them to list, to compliment each presenter, because it's building a sense of community, you know. Sometimes they think they don't understand, even though, the only thing they have in common is they don't speak English. They don't understand where somebody's from or anything. So it gives them an opportunity to really, build that sense of community and share their life with their classmates. So.
I knew there were a lot of things going on
I like
behind
that.
the scenes that you just do every day. Let's talk about one of the main areas of growth. You had great participation, no doubt about that. Which students do you think actively participated in the lesson?
Well, as far as the presentations, they're all actively participating because they're listening for this information that I'm requiring them to keep. But at the beginning with today, with the proofreading, I think that I was just trying to get through that. I didn't want it to be a big focus because I had so many things to do. And I think a lot of this time, the same kids are always responding. So I know that I need to vary that, and I do. And, perhaps today I should have done that too. But
Let's see, and what activities fostered high involvement? You said definitely, I know every student was participating during the presentation because they were taking notes. I did see every student taking notes, so can you talk with me about that?
They were required to write down 2 facts that they learned about each country from each presenter, and 2 questions that they could ask the presenter. And the students don't know if I'm gonna choose them to ask a question or their neighbor. They don't know who I'm gonna choose, so they have to be ready with their questions. And then to foster a sense of community with each other, I required them to write down one thing they really liked about each presentation.
That's good. Let's see. What do these results mean to you in terms of future planning? The results of the data that I showed you with the questioning and wait time.
Well, I'm definitely going to do another PowerPoint project to reinforce this one, because some of them did just learn how to turn on the computer and just learn these things for the first time, how to do just simple slides. So for those people, they can, create another one, learn how to use animation better, learn transitions, how to do different things with the slides. And for the other people, the people that did have some experience, I'll expect their work to be even better next time. But I want to do another PowerPoint soon, so
Because-
that it reinforces this one, and it's still fresh in their mind how to do it.
Okay. And then what will you do in future lessons to ensure that all students are participating and answering questions?
Well, I will vary my, teaching style, even vary my method of delivery of similar types of material. And I will call on different students and make sure that I am choosing different people to answer questions.
And it sounds like you are careful to do that most of the time and sometimes,
Yeah,
not always.
I try to, but it just depends on how much emphasis I'm putting on each activity
makes
that
sense.
day,
Yep, that makes sense.
That sometimes I spend more time on one thing than another. I try and have 3 or 4 activities in each class period, just to keep things rolling and keep the kids fresh and on their toes.
Thanks for your time, Jean.
Oh, you're welcome.